You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Coming up, picking through the debris, the latest on Hurricane Michael as search and rescue efforts continue today across the Panhandle. Plus, no respect? Vandals got at a Revolutionary War monument in Georgia. We'll tell you why police there don't think it's very funny. And a new documentary on the Parkland shooting makes its debut in Broward County. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, October 15th, 6 a.m. now. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is off today. A guy with the same initials, though, JS. Josh Stone has filled in instead. Good morning, Josh.
All right, Ray, thank you very much. As far as our temperatures go right now, we're walking out to beautiful conditions. Mid to upper 70s at this time, though some areas, the dew point is pretty close to the temperature, so there could be some areas of patchy fog. Look out for that for your morning commute. Our radar remains very quiet, so nothing to show you here. And as far as our day planner goes, we'll start off seeing mostly sunny skies, then becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon. Highs, though, topping out in the upper 80s and lower 90s, so it'll be another warm one for us today. And there's a possibility, a very slight possibility, a few showers could get going later on today. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Josh. The travel experts are still highlighting a crash on I-75 southbound at exit 224. Doesn't seem to show any residual backup right there. Otherwise, the coast is pretty clear, nothing in the red in Manatee County. Checking farther south, you'll see some buildup there now. Already this morning on Fruitville Road, eastbound, McIntosh, Honore, Cattleman toward the interstate. Also Bee Ridge Road, Honore in as well in the same direction. Farther south, nothing so far in the red in our South County among our friends down there. It is 6:01 now on your Monday morning. The death toll stands at 18 after Hurricane Michael, but many others are still unaccounted for. As reporter Omar Jimenez tells us, crews continue to search through debris.
Florida's governor and the Federal Emergency Management Agency's administrator tour the communities most impacted by Hurricane Michael.
We have 11,000 people registered for FEMA right now. We just had a conversation about how fast the FEMA resources will come out. We've got local law enforcement from all around the state. They're coming to the impacted counties to make sure people are safe.
President Trump is expected to visit Florida Monday as the death toll continues to rise. Officials say it could be days to weeks before everyone is accounted for. The lack of power and spotty cell phone service add to the challenges of emergency response crews.
A lot of our homes, a lot of our families have been displaced, homes have been destroyed, damage has been everywhere. So we're having to deal with that as we're dealing with this incident as well.
And as people return to the rubble of their Florida Panhandle communities, residents are lining up at community centers for bottled water and ready-to-eat meals. The governor assuring people there is help for those in need.
We've distributed, I think about 2 million meals, I think it's 1 million gallons of water. We're making sure there's fuel around the state. So I know everybody wants to get back to their house. You got to be safe.
In Mexico Beach, Florida, I'm Omar Jimenez.
A little farther south in Albany, Georgia, now the community there continues to focus on getting residents the basics they need. The county says they've requested everything they can from the state. Organizations are also supplying residents with food and water. They plan to have baby supplies there as well today. They're asking residents to post photos of the damage with the hashtag #MichaelAlbany to help more outside resources come in.
We've heard your cry, we understand, we know that babies need diapers, we know that they need formula. We've requested those things, we're going to continue to request those things.
They're also asking for federal disaster assistance ahead of President Trump's visit later on this morning to North Florida and South Georgia. Weeks after Hurricane Florence, people in South Carolina are still trying to recover there. Residents who were forced to evacuate are finally getting back to their neighborhoods. Despite preparing with boards and sandbags, water made its way inside every home on the street. One of the residents there has lived there for 5 years, and after going through 2 floods in less than 3 years, she's unsure if she'll rebuild again or just leave.
I want to stay. I love my house, but I can never go through the flood again. So I'm torn, you know. I love this community. I love my neighbors. Everybody is tight. Everybody is close. We look out for each other. You know, it's a great community. I love it here, but I can't go through this again.
For now, she's taking things day by day, leaning on neighbors for support. Don't forget to download our app. It's under the App Store, under WWSB, or under My Suncoast. You'll also find a 1-hour hurricane special on mysuncoast.com, as well as a printable hurricane guide as well. New this morning, a skydiver in California is dead after her parachute failed to deploy on Sunday. The FAA says she was using her own equipment. This fatality is the latest in a string of deaths and violations at that skydiving center. From 1999 to 2017, this is near Sacramento, 15 people have died jumping from planes that took off there. And in September, 2 years ago, 20 instructors were suspended after an investigation by the U.S. Parachute Association. All right, look at this now. Vandals changed the eyes on a Revolutionary War hero in Savannah, Georgia. This is now how Nathaniel Greene looks. He was a major general in the Continental Army back in 1775 and lived there after the war. Well, his eyes have since been removed. Police don't find it funny and are reviewing surveillance video to see if they can identify the vandal who did it. Well, thanks to Hurricane Michael, the first debate between the two candidates for Florida governor has been postponed. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum announced on Facebook that he can't get back on the campaign trail until at least next Wednesday. The Democratic nominee for governor was scheduled to debate Republican Ron DeSantis tomorrow night in Orlando. There are still 2 other debates scheduled before next month's election. A new documentary about the Parkland school massacre is making its debut nationwide. It's called Parkland Inside Building 12. It's described as a brutally direct film shedding new light on the shooting. A special screening was held over the weekend in Parkland where the director talked about why it's important to have it debut there.
Tonight we're having a private screening for people that were in the film, victims' parents, students, teachers. It's time we heard from people that were literally looking down the barrel of a gun, getting shot, ducking, running. Those are the people we need to hear from.
He also directed the harrowing 49 Pulses, which focuses on the 2016 massacre at Orlando's Pulse nightclub. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you about President Trump's new warning to Saudi Arabia in response to reports about one of their journalists being killed in Turkey. And next half hour, if you don't want to donate money or supplies, how about blood for storm victims? Details of that next half hour. First, here's a peek outside our studios, looking at the downtown Sarasota skyline south of our headquarters here at 10th and Lemon. Let's get to today's forecast now from meteorologist Josh Stone.
Okay, for the bus stop forecast this morning, we're going to have temperatures in the upper 70s, mostly clear conditions, and then by the time you come back home from school, partly cloudy skies, going to be warm though, 89 to 90 degrees, and maybe a slight chance for some shower activity. As far as the tropics go, there's a little disturbed weather down here in the Western Caribbean, and when we return, we'll talk more about this coming up in just a few minutes from now. Stay with us.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I had been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hot, hot!
It's the Gettle Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gettle dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gettle location near you or visit Gettle.com.
Gettle's got it.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically. And I don't know what we would have done without that.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Good Monday morning to you. Good to see you. Rise and shine up and at 'em. Our current temperature right now is 75 degrees, dew point at 75, so won't be surprised if there's some patchy fog out there. You can see much of the dew points pretty close to the current temperatures around the area, so just keep that in mind if you're going to be on the roads this morning. Could run into some areas of maybe limited visibility. The winds, well, coming out of the east. This will be the story over the next few days because we've had more of a northerly wind over the weekend with dry air above us. We had beautiful conditions, at least on Saturday morning. Woke up to kind of a taste of fall. But now we have more of an easterly wind and then eventually south, and that's going to help to bring in more moisture into the area as we get in the middle part of this work week to bring us a little more shower activity. So it's going to be another warm one today with highs topping out in the upper 80s, low 90s. We talked about some showers coming in by the middle of this work week, and then by the upcoming weekend, mild conditions and things clear out and temperatures will slightly cool. Let's talk about the tropics right now. National Hurricane Center was watching this area of disturbed weather yesterday, but encountered a lot of wind shear, so that's kind of fizzled out. And then we're looking at this area of disturbed weather. It has about a 30% chance of developing into something, but it is moving westward, and it's going to cross over land here in Central America. And once it crosses over land, the fuel supply of the storm is cut off, and we're not really concerned about that. And it's definitely not going to be coming up to the north, so we can forget about that. Now, as far as what's happening on the big picture, there's been some snow over the weekend. Pretty potent cold front came down from the north here. Right now, it's about 19 degrees in Denver, so they're experiencing winter conditions, and also about 10 inches of snow fell in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the whole cold front has now spilled southward, producing some heavier snow in Kansas earlier today, or should I say late last night, and then some heavier showers through Texas as this thing gets slowly moving to the south and then the southeast. It eventually will come into Florida, and that will also help to ignite some more shower activity as we get into our Wednesday. But if you're flying out of the Suncoast today, going to Atlanta, LaGuardia, O'Hare, or Charlotte, no delays at this time. The Futurecast will put this into motion. There could be a few isolated showers that pop up later on this afternoon, maybe in central Manatee County, maybe eastern Sarasota County, and down here in Lee County outside the viewing area. But other than that, it's going to be very isolated and very minimal shower activity for today. We're calling for mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. For the boaters, southeasterly wind becoming south at 10 knots. Sea is 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bays. Our high today topping out at 90. Our average for a high is 86, so we'll be above that today, but it will feel like 100 degrees outside. So putting the 7-day forecast into motion here, and we'll show you breaking it down. This middle work week, we'll have some shower activity. Maybe the best chance would be 40 to 50% chance by Wednesday to be more widespread. And then as we get into the latter part of the work week and into the weekend, looks like that chance starts to decrease, and then we'll be left with mostly sunny skies for at least the second half of Saturday into Sunday and into Monday of next week. You can see the temperatures slightly cool down from the upper 80s, low 90s to the mid 80s by the weekend. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Josh. Checking the roads right now, you'll see an ongoing issue. I-75 southbound at exit 224. Be aware of that. Also, State Road 70 in the eastbound lane from 301 toward Lockwood Ridge. Some congestion there. Farther south, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing really in the red right now. Earlier issues have since cleared up on Fruitville and Bee Ridge. Should be a clear sail if you leave right now. And then farther south, here's the South County scene. Well, a little blip there. 41 northbound between the words Venice and Nokomis. In Washington, President Trump says that separating children from parents at the border can serve as a deterrent to illegals trying to sneak in this country. This comes as the administration released new video of a Texas detention center home to 2,400 unaccompanied minors. The Washington Post says the president is considering a plan that gives parents who cross the border illegally two choices: stay in detention with their children as they await hearings, or allow children to wait in government facilities until relatives are located.
Everybody wants to come in, and they come in illegally, and they use children. In many cases, the children aren't theirs. They grab them, and they want to come in with the children.
Thousands of children remain in detention near the Mexican border. The chair of the Republican National Committee has accepted President Trump's offer to remain in that role. Ronna McDaniel will serve at least through the 2020 elections. RNC members still have to vote on McDaniel at the group's winter meetings. McDaniel is from Michigan and is the niece of former presidential candidate Mitt Romney. New developments in the disappearance of a Washington Post reporter after reports that he was killed by a Saudi hit squad in Turkey earlier this month. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest on that as President Trump threatens severe punishment against the Saudis.
As the U.S. and Saudi Arabia clash over the case of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, Saudi King Salman personally called Turkey's president to thank him for his help in the joint investigation. The Saudi native and journalist who lives in the U.S. was last seen walking into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul October 2nd. The Washington Post reports Turkish officials say they have audio and video proof that Khashoggi was killed inside the compound. Saudi Arabia is promising to push back against any severe punishment that targets its government. It's a veiled response to President Trump's threat made in a 60 Minutes interview.
We're going to get to the bottom of it, and there will be severe punishment.
Saudi Arabia has denied any involvement in the disappearance of Khashoggi, a well-known critic of the regime.
There's a lot at stake, and maybe especially so because this man was a reporter. There's something, you'll be surprised to hear me say that, there's something really terrible and disgusting about that if that were the case.
But the president insists even if the Saudi involvement is confirmed, he will not cancel a lucrative arms deal with the Saudis.
Boeing, Lockheed, Raytheon, all these, I don't want to hurt jobs. I don't want to lose an order like that. There are other ways of punishing.
Global business leaders are now reassessing their ties with Saudi Arabia. Many sponsors and attendees have pulled out of an upcoming economic conference in Saudi Arabia, but not U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin.
Mr. Mnuchin will make up his mind as the week progresses and as new information surfaces.
Senator Marco Rubio told CNN that's a poor choice.
I don't think we should continue as business as usual.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Of the rule of law,
Hillary Clinton has relinquished her security clearance. This comes after a controversy over President Trump's decision to revoke the clearance of former CIA Director John Brennan. Clinton asked that her own clearance be withdrawn after retired Navy Admiral William McRaven, who oversaw the raid that killed bin Laden, slammed the president in a Washington Post op-ed. Consumer news, social media giant Facebook and the FBI are investigating how millions of users were recently hacked. Over 30 million Facebook users were compromised, and that number is less than previously suspected. This is said to be, though, the biggest security breach in the company's history. Facebook is now cooperating with investigators. After the attack, administrators logged out almost 100 million users as a precaution. Sears continues to sink. The previously dominant retail chain is filing for bankruptcy today. The company's been around for 132 years. They couldn't pay their big debt that was due today, $134 million. The only Sears store left here on the Suncoast is in the DeSoto Square Mall in Bradenton. No word on its future. And for all you Black Friday shoppers out there, you'll be happy to know Macy's will kick off Black Friday early again this year. The retailer will open after its parade at 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. This is the third year in a row Macy's has opened on Thanksgiving. Macy's plans to stay open until 2 a.m., close for a few hours, regroup, and reopen at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a murder mystery in Georgia will tell you why police are now looking at surveillance footage in the shooting death of this aspiring model. And next half hour, more about the red tide financial impact on one Suncoast community. The numbers might surprise you. It is 6:20 right now. Love this shot of the Capitol. It is picture postcard pretty. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right now on Good Morning on ABC 7.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Conquer your next adventure. Get a new Jeep at a great price during Jeep Adventure Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Well, a disturbing story here. Police in Georgia are looking over surveillance video in the shooting death of an aspiring model. ABC's Steve Osunsami has our story.
We just have so many unanswered questions.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a murder mystery in Georgia. Kelsey Quayle had moved from California to Atlanta to pursue a modeling career, and this morning her family wants someone to explain how and why she was killed.
I just want to know who did this. It's ridiculous. She didn't deserve this.
The 28-year-old was killed after she was shot in the neck last Monday while driving south of Atlanta. Police believe the gunshot wound caused her to crash her car. No one even knew she'd been shot until she got to the hospital. Surveillance video from a gas station near the crash shows several angles but does not show the shooting. Just moments before police say Quayle's Mazda came to a stop, you see her steering into oncoming traffic before crashing into two other cars. We'll have more on how police think this may have been a random shooting coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Steve Osunsami, ABC News Atlanta.
They're all going in the same direction, but in very different ways. And Pampers gives all of them our driest, best-fitting diaper. Pampers Cruisers with 3-way fit. They adapt at the waist, legs, and bottom with up to 12 hours of protection for all the freedom to move their way in Pampers Cruisers. Only Pampers diapers are the #1 choice of hospitals, nurses, and parents.
This is not a video game. This is not a screensaver. This is the destruction of a cancer cell by the body's own immune system, thanks to medicine that didn't exist until now, and today can save your life.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. And right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
We get it, you're busy. But what about those moments when life slows down? It only takes a minute to get election ready. Check your voter registration status. Make sure your signature is up to date. Review your sample ballot. Know your election dates and voting options. So take a moment. Be election ready.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Like ABC7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Coming up, a Suncoast resident is heading north to the Panhandle with plenty of hurricane relief supplies after a Facebook post gained attention. Plus, a closer look at red tide's financial impact on the Venice business community. And we'll tell you how long the kickoff for a farmer's market is postponed at the Siesta Key Mall. Those stories in the forecast this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back. Glad you're with us. It's 6:30 right now, October the 15th. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is off today. Josh Stone is here in his place with today's forecast. Josh?
All right, Ray, thanks so much. Looking at the radar right now, it is quiet. It's going to remain that way for most of the day, though a few showers could get going, and those will be isolated later on this afternoon. Current temperatures right now in both Sarasota, Bradenton, and Venice are in the mid to upper 70s with just a few streaming clouds, and that's about it. Here's a breakdown of your outlook. We're going to climb up into the upper 80s and low 90s for this afternoon. Our average for a high is 86, so it'll be above that, but it will feel close to 100 degrees. And then, like I said, a few developing clouds in the afternoon, and there's a very small chance for some shower activity later on today. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Josh. Checking the road. Still a stubborn accident there on I-75 southbound at exit 224. Be aware of that if you're heading toward that area. You might want to take 301 to avoid that, although that's pretty close to 301. Also, the Green Bridge, some problems there from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton. Want to take the DeSoto Bridge if you have the option there. Checking farther south, here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. Some red there on the map on Bee Ridge Road. As you get off the interstate and start heading westbound over Kettleman and toward Honore, some congestion there. And then South County, nothing much to speak of so far as of 6:31 on this Monday morning. Well, thanks to your generosity, a Sarasota man is now on his way to Panama City with a U-Haul truck filled with hurricane relief supplies. Sean Martin is originally from Panama City. We talked to him Saturday as he was packing for the trip. He says after seeing pictures of the destruction there, he knew he had to do something. At first, he was just planning to bring his own donations, but a Facebook post changed that quickly. It brought him with other people looking to help, and now he is on his way with water and batteries and tarps and other items.
Nails, hammers. I mean, people donated, unbelievable amount of work gloves and shovels and just stuff to kind of help them get back in order. A lot of people we know lost their entire house. People donated blankets and clothes, and people, anything they had to give. Some people came, they were like, I don't have much, but they still found a way to give.
Martin says he was impressed by how many brought supplies, and some even came back more than once as well. Starting this morning, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office will collect donations for Hurricane Michael victims. You can drop off new and packaged donations at the Sheriff's Office. No cash donations. If you want to donate cash, do that through the American Red Cross. Drop-off locations include 301 Boulevard West in Bradenton, 57th Avenue East in Bradenton, and 67th Street Circle East in Bradenton. The times and locations all vary. You can get that on our website at mysuncoast.com. Right now, thousands are still without power and electricity following Hurricane Michael. And while crews continue to work on getting power lines fixed in the Panhandle, organizations back here in the Suncoast are helping victims who have lost everything in the disaster. Details on that now from Marla Spence. She joins us now live from the newsroom. Marla?
Hey, Ray, yes, so many people still without power this morning. Now, an organization is helping to lend a helping hand. They are sending food donations to those people who are without power, something that is very needed today. Now, this organization, All Faiths Food Bank, is looking to help a handing hand. The organization plans to pack emergency boxes of food to be sent out to affected areas on the Panhandle. Now, volunteers this morning will gather in the food bank's warehouse to pack those emergency boxes that will be sent to the Panhandle later today. Now, packing up donations will start at 8:30 this morning, and volunteers say they plan to wrap up about 11 o'clock this morning. Now, that's when donations will be packed up and then shipped away to those in need. Now, ABC7 is partnering with All Faiths Food Bank along with Food Banks of Manatee County. To learn more on how you can help, you can head to our website, mysuncoast.com. Ray?
Okay, thank you, Marla. If you're looking for other ways to donate right now, iHeartMedia is collecting donations today and tomorrow. This morning at 6 a.m. already till noon, they'll be at the US 41 and 776 car dealership there, Bill Buck Chevrolet in Venice. They'll also be at the Stickney Point 41 pumpkin patch on the corner right there. They'll be back at that spot again tomorrow morning. And plus, they'll also be in Manatee County tomorrow at the Mission Barbecue at Cortez Road and 41 in Bradenton. Another way to help victims, you can donate blood. You see, blood banks affected by the storm directly can't accept donations right now, so it could be days before they're able to reopen. So those blood banks are relying on donors from outside the area like us. The Suncoast Blood Bank is asking people to donate blood and platelets, especially O negative and O positive blood types, which will be in high demand in the days ahead. For the latest on where you can donate, plus breaking news and the first alert forecast, check out our app. It's under the App Store at WWSB or under My Suncoast. We're learning more about the financial impact of red tide on the city of Venice. A survey by Venice Main Street and the Chamber of Commerce found that, get this, 7 out of 10 businesses in the area reported drop in sales compared to last year. About a third of the shops and restaurants had to cut employee hours. The average business lost about $15,000 in August. Now, that nearby construction on Venice Avenue isn't helping either, but at least for some businesses, they were able to plan ahead for that one.
We didn't make allowances for the red tide. I think the red tide's been really, in fact, more detrimental than the construction has.
The chamber estimates those businesses lost a total of $1 million collectively in August alone. A no swim advisory has been lifted now for several Sarasota County beaches. The advisory includes all of the beaches listed on your screen, including Longboat Key, North and South Lido, and Venice Pier. The advisory was placed on all Sarasota County beaches last week due to the high amount of bacteria in the water at that time. The first part of improvements to River Road is now in place. The state gave the county $1 million, which will then swap responsibility of the road from the county to the state DOT. The goal is to eventually turn the 2-lane road into a 4- to 6-lane road to cut down on traffic problems. This is the section between I-75 and US 41. The kickoff to the farmers market at the Westfield Siesta Key Mall is delayed indefinitely. Mall officials say the market's October 26th open has been called off until further notice. Once it does begin, the night market will feature live music and 60 vendors. It'll take place every second and fourth Friday from October or whenever it starts and through December. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, looking to get a head start on your next workout. We'll tell you what common mistakes runners often make when exercising. And some big news while you slept. Guess who's pregnant? Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, will tell you when the newest royal couple is expected to welcome their first baby. But first, here's a peek outside our studios. Nice shot there of the downtown skyline. It is 6:37, October 15th. As far as the Monday forecast goes, for that, here's meteorologist Josh Stone.
Okay, thanks so much, Ray. Looking at the radar, it is quiet at this hour, though there could be some areas of patchy fog. Looking at the current temperature right now, it's in the mid to upper 70s here in Sarasota, Bradenton, and Venice, with mostly clear skies, but thanks to the temperatures close to the dew point, there could be some areas of limited visibility. So just keep that in mind for your morning commute today. There's a temperature, the dew point at 75. We just show you the current temperature in Sarasota was around 76. As far as our day planner goes, we're going to be in the upper 80s and low 90s for highs today. That's the above average of 86, and mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies later on this afternoon. And when we come back, we'll talk about some disturbed weather here in the tropics and where it's heading. So we'll talk about this in just a few minutes, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hot, hot!
It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Happy Monday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi. He'll be back tomorrow. Well, we're starting off looking at the radar. We had some shower activity on it last night. That has now moved off in the Gulf of Mexico and fizzled out. And right now, everything looking very quiet at this hour, though later on this afternoon, there could be a hit or miss shower that developed, but that's going to be very isolated. As far as the red tide report, this graphic actually came out on Friday. We're going to get an update on this later today, but as you can see, the report very sparse as far as red tide reports go, which is good compared to what we've seen. This entire coast has been lit up in red over the last several months, it seems, but for right now, it looks like things are kind of quieting down. Let's hope it stays that way. Again, we'll have an update report coming up later on today. 75 degrees, our current temperature here in Sarasota. Humidity, though, at 100%, so won't be surprised if we see some areas of patchy fog on this Monday morning. So just slow it down on the roadways if you run into some limited visibility. But right now, the skies are, for the most part, pretty quiet, pretty clear. Dew points, though, around the area are close to the temperatures, not just for Sarasota, but pretty much widespread around the Suncoast. So, again, there could be areas of limited visibility. I checked the observations, and there are some areas being reported of some fog, especially maybe around Fort Myers and inland and east of the viewing area in central Florida. So if you're heading in that direction, just, again, slow down the roadways. It's going to be a warm one, though, by this afternoon, upper 80s and lower 90s. The average for the high is 86 for this time of the year, so we're going to be above that. And then showers would come into play by the middle of this work week, and then we're in store for a very nice, mild, and sunny weekend as we get in the next few days. The tropics, National Hurricane Center was looking at this area of disturbed weather the other day, but it's encountered some wind shears, so we're not really concerned about that anymore. And then here is an area that has a 30% chance of shower activity in the western Caribbean, but it is moving west, and eventually it will be moving over land. And once these systems move over land, the fuel supply is cut off, so we're really not concerned about this. And again, this is moving west, not north, so that's good news for us. As far as the big picture goes, on the national side, we have this huge dip of blue colors. This is a trough. Pretty potent cold front came down from the north over the weekend. And as you can see right now, the current temperature in Denver is 20 degrees. Also, some heavy snow fell in Cheyenne over the weekend, about 10 inches there. Also, West Nebraska and through Kansas as well in the overnight. They got some heavy snow. Some areas 10 inches, and the upper elevations in New Mexico up to 16 inches, and some heavy rain down here in Texas. This cold front eventually could track its way towards Florida by the middle of this week and help aid to more shower activity along the Suncoast. But we're going to experience more of an easterly, southeasterly one around an area of high pressure to help bring more moisture back into the area as well. As far as the futurecast goes, nothing really to show you that pops out at us, but there could be a few isolated showers that develop later on this afternoon. But again, those will be isolated and very sparse. As far as the boating forecast, seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bays, southeasterly becoming south wind about 10 knots. 90 will be the high today. We'll feel close to about 100 degrees, be a warm one. And then there you go. By middle of this week, shower activity, about 40 to 50% chance by Wednesday. And then we are in store for a very nice weekend ahead of us with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies and highs around average at 86 degrees. Ray?
All right, thank you, Josh. Checking first alert traffic. Still that ongoing accident there at I-75 at 301. You'll see now what's happening. The traffic is backing up the top part of your screen there. So it looks like northbound is actually eastbound traffic on 301. Quite congested from that accident point past the Ellington Outlet Mall and then up 301. So be aware of that if you're traveling in that area this morning. You'll see on State Road 70 westbound as you go toward 301, some congestion there. Farther south, you'll see 301 in both directions between University and Fruitville, some congestion in the Newtown area. And South County still free and clear as of 6:45 this morning. One of the best ways to get in shape is to run. But before you lace up your sneakers, there are some basic tips you have to keep in mind. Here's reporter Reed Binion.
There's more to running than just putting on a pair of sneakers and heading out the door. It's a great way to stay in shape, but it's important to establish a healthy routine. If you're new to running, follow these simple tips to increase your chances of success. First, make sure you have the right shoes. Do your research and find a pair that properly support your feet. Second, ease into a routine. Doing too much too soon puts you at a higher risk of injury. Third, listen to your body. Discomfort is common for new runners, but if you're in pain while you run, stop and treat the pain. Fourth, schedule rest days. Running is hard on your body, especially if you're a new runner and your body isn't used to the added stress. Take time to rest between workouts and let your body recover. And finally, don't compare yourself to other runners. Your pace and mileage will change as you get into the routine. Remember, every runner started somewhere. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Other health news now. The FDA is cracking down on those e-cigarettes you see more and more these days. The agency is now targeting 21 e-cig companies to find out if they've been illegally marketing products. This move comes less than 2 weeks after the FDA conducted a surprise inspection of an e-cig maker in San Francisco. Agencies thousands of documents related to sales and marketing. The investigations are part of the FDA's ongoing crackdown on teen e-cig use. The number of expectant mothers opting for C-sections is on the rise. A new study finds cesarean section deliveries nearly doubled worldwide since the year 2000. In fact, 1 in 5 babies born by C-section in the past 3 years. Researchers note that C-sections can be life-saving in some cases, but a rise for non-medical emergencies is concerning because the procedure does still pose some risks. CDC says the number of young kids not getting vaccinations is on the rise. It's still not a lot, about 1%, mostly uninsured children and those on Medicaid, also those who live in rural areas. It is 6:48 right now, shifting gears to entertainment news. First Man couldn't stick the landing at the box office, and Netflix is canceling one of its big Marvel superhero series. ABC's Christopher Watson as our showbiz wrap.
First Man failed to deliver on box office expectations. Starring Ryan Gosling as Apollo 11 astronaut Neil Armstrong, it debuted in third as anticipated, but with a lower than forecast $16.5 million, barely edging out the 5th place opening of Goosebumps 2: Haunted Halloween.
I'm not really a priest.
The neo-noir thriller Bad Times at the El Royale bowed in 7th. Venom and A Star is Born held 1st and 2nd places respectively in their second weekends out.
Have I lost anyone so far?
That's Chris Redd as Kanye West on Saturday Night Live over the weekend, along with Alec Baldwin's President Trump lampooning the rapper's eccentric comments during his White House visit last week.
I'm the immortal Iron Fist.
Not anymore. After failing to find an audience, Netflix has canceled the Marvel superhero drama Iron Fist after 2 seasons. After saying he'd leave the show following episode 13 of the current 3rd season, Damon Wayans is sticking with TV's Lethal Weapon for 15 episodes.
We're gonna make a great team.
That's according to Deadline. And happy birthday to Little Big Town's Kimberly Schlafman, the country singer's 49 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
This might not surprise you. The Ariana Grande, Pete Davidson love story has ended. The singer and SNL comedian confirmed their engagement last June, just after a few weeks of dating. And now they're calling off the wedding after all. Davidson and Grande recently bought a home together, and she named a song after him. He got some tattoos. A source says their relationship was too much too soon, and the breakup isn't shocking to anybody. I think he was surprised in the first place. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, are expecting a baby. Yeah, the news broke overnight. The couple arrived in Australia for their first official major international royal tour, so it's big news there right now. Kensington Palace says they're expecting the baby in the spring, so congratulations to the happy young couple, all the exciting news there. We'll have our day's top 7 news headlines next. First, here's a live shot from Panama City in the Panhandle. President Trump is arriving in that region later on this morning, and that is a problem there with power is out, gas is in short supply. Yeah, real problems continue there. We'll have more news after this on Good Morning Suncoast.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
ABC7's official Suncoast Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Download yours today at mysuncoast.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Welcome back. Time for our top 7 headlines. First off, the weather from meteorologist Josh Stone.
All right, thanks, Ray. Today is going to be warm and for the most part mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies as we get into the middle of this work week. A few more showers and storms could get going, especially by Wednesday, and then we clear out by the upcoming weekend. How about traffic, Ray?
All right, number 2 is indeed traffic. Thank you, Josh. The earlier problem on I-75 has finally cleared up 2 hours later up there by the Ellington Mall. Still some congestion there, you'll notice, as you head off east on 301. Otherwise, no major traffic issues on Suncoast roads at this hour. It was once the largest retail chain in the country, and now Sears is filing for bankruptcy protection. They plan to close 142 more stores. They've gone from 250,000 workers 5 years ago to about 90,000 now and shrinking. This is new. Number 4, Prince Harry and Meghan expecting a baby in the spring. The couple just began a tour of Australia today. The baby would be the 7th in line to the throne. Number 5, in the wake of the hurricane, the Suncoast Blood Bank is asking for donations of blood and platelets, especially those who have O negative and O positive blood types. You see, blood banks in the hurricane zone are closed right now and obviously can't accept donations. And President Trump is arriving in the Panhandle with the First Lady later on this morning. Number 6, after winning the first 2 games of the season, the Tampa Bay Bucks have lost the last 3 in a row, this time to Atlanta. Final score there, Falcons 34, Buccaneers 29. Bring back Fitzpatrick, I say. The Bucks will host the Browns at Ray J on Sunday. Number 7, what's trending? This. A creative group of scuba divers got together 30 feet beneath the surface in the Keys to prepare their own underwater pumpkins. It was all part of an annual carving contest in Key Largo. Divers transformed their gourds into sea creatures and were also challenged to keep their naturally buoyant pumpkins from floating off while they were carved. Some of the entries included a dolphin, sharks, seahorse, sea turtles, and even a skeleton fish. Pretty cool. I just love how clear that is. That picture is so beautiful.
It is. And, you know, with the teal background and the orange just popping out, looks beautiful.
Very nice. Thank you, Josh. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
John's back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good Morning America is straight ahead.